Right, hello everyone. We got a quick video today. I had an interesting idea and I thought I'd just quickly run through this. Today we're going to be going through a tier list of motorcycle riders, so types of motorcycle riders. Now, on the road, there's quite a few different types of riders out there, and I'm sure if you've been riding for any length of time, you know that for a fact. So to kick off with, who we got first? We've got what looks like, oh god, fuzzy helmet riders. These are some of the most cringe-worthy guys on the road. They've always got cameras, they're always recording, they always think that they're influencers, and they always do goofy shit thinking they're really cool. They're not cool. The fuzzy shit on your head looks really fucking stupid. You are a twat. I'm sorry. You are a complete twat. So, yeah, starting off strong there. Next up, we got what looks like, so it's a Honda Fireblade SP at the bottom here. So, this is what I'm going to call, if you're born in Britain and you went to school in England, then you know what I'm going to say. Full kit wanker. Now, that would be the person who would wear the full, usually like a football uniform for playing outside at lunch or something, you know, the full shorts, shirt, trousers, shin pads, everything, you know, shorts, sorry, shin pads, boots. In motorcycle terms, that'd be somebody who wears a full race suit to go around the corner, go to the shops and get some milk. He's got his full race suit. He's got his racing livery. He's got his no wing mirrors because, you know, aero. He's got his racing number on the front just to go around the corner to go to the shops. I'm not dissing it. I'm just saying it's quite funny. I mean, I wear a two-piece race suit on the daily, so I can't really complain. But yeah, full kit wanker. They're not too bad. It's all in good spirits. But you do look like a bit of a twat if you're just going to get some milk and you're there walking in the shop with your tight one-piece race suit and you can hardly walk. It looks like you shit yourself. So you make it not quite a cool guy because of that, but not too bad. You're not as bad as, you know, the twat with the furry helmet. Next, sport bike riders. Immediately cool guy. I mean, this might ruffle some feathers from the cruiser guys and all that, and the adventure biker guys, but, I mean, come on, sport bikes are cool. Everybody likes a sport bike. They either are too old to ride one because it hurts them, or they're too scared of the power, or they don't like the leaned over position and the really sharp turning in. You know, on a sport bike, they're made to dive in real fast and sharp. You go into a corner, and because of the dynamics of the bike, it wants to just dip its head in and get you into the corner, get you leaning quick and get you down fast and get you out of the corner quickly. You know, and usually the harsh suspension comes along with that, so they're not everyone's cup of tea, but that's why they're cool. They're fast, they're loud, they look awesome. Cool guy. I mean, sorry. Right, next is, if you can see the photo here, it is the CBT guy. So it's the 125 guy, just past the CBT, maybe the first sort of 6 months to a year, maybe even 2 years, you know, before his CBT sort of run out. I'm going to sort of group this though, because this kind of encompasses the fresh new guy and the guy who's been riding around for like 1 year on a CBT on a 125 and thinks he's like fucking Valentino Rossi when he's really not. You know, he rides a Yamaha R125 and thinks he's like on an R1, nipping through traffic and nearly like smashing into people and all that kind of shit. So on the one hand, the fresh new people who are just slow and a bit scared, that's fine, you know, that's cool guy, take it easy. However, the guy who thinks he's a pro and he's been going for a year on a 125, you know, he hasn't even done his big bike license or anything yet. I'm sorry, but you'd have, because of that, equal hatred. 50-50. Yeah, you just calm yourself down. It's a 125, you know? Like when I was riding my 125, when I first started, I wasn't fucking tearing around like a lunatic because, well, number one, you can't, but don't be diving in and out of traffic like a lunatic on a 125. You haven't got the power. You look a bit silly. Yeah, don't have a stupid loud exhaust, by the way. 125s with ridiculously loud exhausts and straight pipes sound ridiculous, so bear that in mind. Right, next. We've got the old adventure bike dudes. Now, I kind of like these guys usually, because they usually use their bikes. Well, if it's the ones I'm thinking of, they use their bikes to actually do adventuring, you know, it's what they're all for. However, on the opposite side of the spectrum, you got the guys who are like accountants, they are surveyors, you know, they're office workers, and they have their little adventure bike, and they might go on a Saturday or a Sunday to the coffee shop, and they've got their million lights on the front flashing away, blinding everybody with their beacons and their 18 saddlebags or their 18 panniers, when it's completely unnecessary to go to the bloody shops. Yeah, so on the one hand, cool. On the other hand, not cool. Especially with their hundreds of stickers on the back. Like, we get it. You've gone to France, or, you know, you've gone to Italy. Okay, cool. So I'd say, again, another middle. An equal hatred. Right. Next off, we got the 50cc guys. And girls, obviously. We got the... not even old enough to do your CBT yet. You're, you know, I think it's 16 or 17 or whatever it is. You're still on a 50cc moped or a little tiny 50cc bike. Usually, I've had good experience with these people. They seem to always be quite level-headed. They understand. They're on a small capacity bike. They haven't got power. They can't get out of the way. So they're usually quite cool. And they usually move out of the way for other bikes, especially. I don't see them ever moving out the way for cars, usually. I mean, well, they don't have to, but yeah. So, but yeah, that's not too bad. Not too bad. Next, now this one. The Harley riders. And I'm going to caveat this now, and I'm going to say not all Harley riders are like this. However, a lot of them are. And a lot of them will say that they're not. And I'm sure that there are a lot of them that aren't like this, but you'll be riding along, you'll say hello to, you know, a sport bike, you'll say hello to a cruiser, that's not a Harley, you'll say hello to a sport bike, a sport tourer, a naked bike, whatever. They'll nod to you, they'll give you a little, you know, whatever. However, the Harley rider, nothing. They just look at you with contempt. they look down on you like you're filth. And that really pisses me off. All in all, I've just stopped nodding to these Harley tossers now. They just are tossers, and they seem to, at all the bike meets, they stick in their little corner with all their other little bike meet friends and their little motorcycle jacket of a club that they are a part of on one day of the month. Yeah, it's quite cringeworthy. I'm gonna have to put them in the twat category. Sorry. Next, we got the guy down here. We've got the guy with the beat-up bike. You know, you see these guys. They're complete wreckheads. They've got a bike that's like barely held together with tape, cable ties, all sorts of complete shit. And you wonder how they're actually running. Usually they're always quite cool guys. They're quite down to earth, but they're a little bit dodgy. You know, you're thinking like, is this actually your bike? You know, or yeah, something along those lines. So yeah, not too bad, but there's an undercurrent of what's going on here. Next, we got the touring bikes. So usually this is the guy that wants the sport bike, but wants the sport bike look, and kind of wants its performance, but can't hack the seating position for long distances for obvious reasons. I mean, I wouldn't want to ride a 600 RR or an S1000 RR, you know, like 200, 300, 400 miles. That would be painful. But yeah, so it's that type of guy. He's probably going to move on to a cruiser next. I feel like this is the stepping stone. Like, they move from the sport bike to the naked, and then they go from the naked to the sport tourer, and then they either go to an adventure bike or they go straight to like a cruiser, like a Harley, or like an Indian, or like the Kawasaki Eliminator, I think it's called, or the Rebel. I can't remember what the name is. But yeah, it's that type of guy. Usually cool. Usually, they get their position. They're not going to be tearing past everyone like a sport bike rider is, like on a 600RR or an S1000 or whatever. They're going to be cruising along. They're going to have a little bit of fun in the back roads, the twisties. They're going to have a little bit of a play. But yeah, usually quite cool guys. I ain't got a problem with them. Next, we got the complete wreckheads. The guys who go around with no plates. This one at the far left here at the bottom. This photo here actually is of the guy who was running away in the UK on I think it's Jigsaw, I can't remember, don't quote me on that. But yeah, so he was caught on the police helicopter camera wheeling away at like 150, 180 miles an hour or something crazy. Absolutely hooning it. Yeah, these guys, the drop a gear, disappear kind of guys with no plate, no insurance, no tax, no MOT, no nothing. I've met a couple of these guys actually, and they are wreckheads. They're usually quite cool, and usually, like, when they do this kind of stuff, you're like, wow, that's sick. But at the same time, you're like, why? Why? I mean, if you crash into me, for example, and you've got no insurance, you're not sticking around, are you? So, yeah, sort of torn on that. I'd say you'd have to say a twat, wouldn't you? I mean, just yeah. We all like having fun, and we all like going fast, but like, don't be a tosser. Right, next up we have the worst of the worst of the worst. Yeah, even worse than Harley riders. Oh god. So we got Moped Thieves. As I said, they are the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst. They target women, they target elderly people, they target unsuspecting people, they steal your shit, they jump off and cut people's bike locks and rob the bikes. They do all sorts of horrible shit like this. They are the nastiest fuckers. In the motorcycle crowd, I don't even class them in the motorcycle community. They're not. They're just opportunist tossers. I had to create this category specifically for them. I originally started with twat, and I had this up here, and I was getting to the bottom. I was like, hang on, I put these guys here. I definitely need to have a category just for them, because no way are they on a par with these guys. Like, these guys are bad, but not in a way that these guys are. These guys are actually really horrible. Yeah, so they are complete twonk wagons. They need to be completely just erased. They need to be deleted, gazeboed, as 44 Teeth would say. Yeah, nah, fuck them. Next, we've got another held together by tape kind of one, and I think that's a mistake actually, so we're going to put that in the same one as this. That one's actually just made of cardboard. I think that picture's from China. Right, so we've got a duplication here, but it's the one we haven't done yet. It's the naked bike guys. The naked bike guys seem to be really cool. They seem to be actually some of the most competent riders of the whole group, to be honest. They usually had sport bikes, and then they use their bikes all the time. Like, they daily everything, so they prefer the more upright position, but they still want the power. And I'm talking here about like super nakeds. I'm not talking about like, Kawasaki Z125s, or like I can't think of another naked bike, a small CC naked, not like that. I'm thinking of like a hyper or a super naked, like an S1000 or an MT10 or an MT10 SP, that kind of thing, or like a CB 1000R, that kind of stuff. I've got one of those actually. But yeah, so these guys tend to be cool. They pop in wheelies, they're getting their knees right down, and then the next day they're riding to work in the pissing rain and the sleet, on that same bike. They're getting through like a tire a month, these kind of guys. So I quite like it. I'm going to say cool guys. Right, cruisers. So even though we did address the Harley riders, which are cruiser motorcycles, Harley's kind of come into their own category, don't they? Because they've got like a cult following. Don't ask me why. I mean, they're fucking American so-called bikes. They're just assembled in America. Everything's made in China, Japan, Germany. You know, it's all just parts that they've assembled in America. So they're not even American anymore. But yeah, you can thank Trump for some of that. But yeah, so where were we? So like the Kawasaki Eliminator, what else? Like I guess a 125, like a Kiwi Super Light, you know, cruiser style bikes like Indians, you know, tend to be okay. They sort of like less horrible versions of the Harley riders. They can still be a bit off, you know, when they're riding in their big group of cruisers and they all kind of want to talk to only each other and they don't want to let anybody else in, and they feel like any other style of bike might cramp their style, so they don't want to have anyone around them. It's like a sport bike or a naked bike or anything like that. So I'd say it's like an equal hatred, like a 50-50. So lastly, we have the Trikes. These ones are a bit of an odd position, to be honest. They tend to usually be okay, but they're always like the sort of, you're not quite sure if they like you or they hate you. You know, if you speak to them at a bike meet, I think because they themselves aren't quite sure where they fit in the sort of dynamic of the scene, they sort of arrive on their three-wheelers, and if there's another one, they park right next to it. And yeah, they I don't know, I think they, from the meets I've been to anyway, they always seem a bit off. Not nasty or anything, just like, oh, we can't really talk about this kind of thing because you've got this and I've got this. It's like, well, not really, we're all the same, but you've just got an extra wheel. But yeah, so, nah, they're okay. But yeah, so it's not my cup of tea, but they tend to be older as well. They always tend to be older because, you know, it's a lot easier to ride a trike. It's not going to fall over. You know, you don't have to lug it around. If you had a big cruiser bike, you know, that weighs, let's say 350 kilos or something like that, that's heavy. You know, to lug that around and move it around it's a big lump of metal, that is. So yeah, with your three wheels, you don't have to worry about that. And I think they usually come with reverse, don't they? Don't quote me on that, but I think they do. I've never ridden one, so I wouldn't know. Wait, you ride or drive a trike? Anyway, yeah, not too bad. So, yeah, that's the tier list. To recap, we got the complete twonk wagons at the top of the Moped Thieves, horrible tossers. We got in the twat category, we got the fuzzy head helmet wankers, we got Harley riders, we got the no plate, drop a gear, disappear criminals. Not in the criminals that these guys are, but still criminals. We got the equal hatred of the new CBT / guy who thinks he knows it all on a 125 and tears around with a stupid straight pipe exhaust on a 125. And then we've got adventure riders, bikers who, you know, potentially go down to the coffee shop on a Sunday and then they need all their lights and their panniers and everything. And we got the cruisers, and they're not too bad. We've got the full kit wanker, we've got the 50cc guys, we've got the guy with the broken down bike who somehow manages to keep it running. This is a duplicate, same with this. And then we've got the trikes, which I just spoke about. And then in the cool guys section, don't forget guys, this is opinions based. We've got the sport bike rider, we've got the sports tourer guys, and we've got the naked riders who tend to be cool as well, in my opinion. Cool, that's all. If you fancy having a go at this, go on to tiermaker.com and make your own one and drop a comment down below and let me know where you put everybody. Cheers.